A very good morning to all the viewers on the Hiregange Bridge. One of the important aspects in life which I learned in my career as a professional was that coaching is very important. We see coaching all across the world, but we sometimes don't get into arrangement for coaching. Let's understand what are the advantages, what could be the reasons, what people say about it. Tom Landry says a coach is someone who tells you what you don't want to hear, who has you see that what you don't want to see. That means I don't want to know that I am arrogant. He will make me see that I am arrogant. So you can be who you always known you could be. So I could know to be calm rather than arrogant. I could learn to be humble. Only if I see that I am arrogant, then only I can do that. That is, they look at our deficiencies, our blind spots, bring it out, and allow us to correct, support us to correct. Let's see some famous coaches. Today's newspaper talks about Gukesh, right? 18-year-old, youngest chess champion of the world. He didn't do it alone. He did it with the help of many. He was inspired by Vishwanath Anand, who was the first Grandmaster of India, who also had the distinction of being world number one. Now we have a new world number one who is so young. He got coached by Paddy Upton. Paddy Upton, in fact, also coached the Indian Olympic team when they won the bronze medal. So obviously, this coach made a difference to the team. He also made a difference to the individual. Now let's look at badminton. You know, the Chinese dominated badminton for 4 5 decades. Then Prakash Padukone broke their back. He also started an academy. Gopi Chand, who was the prodigy of Padukone, who also rose to wonderful levels at the world in badminton, he also started an academy. From his academy, you had Saina Nehwal and PV Sindhu. Remember, athletes sometimes change their coach to get one edge, but they got their basics from Gopi Chand, and they were the world champions. Sindhu still plays. Recently, I think she got married, which signals that maybe it is time she will leave the racket, possibly. So, what does coaching do? The point is that all of us are having unlimited potential. Somebody should be there to open it up. Every one of us can achieve success. Ongoing learning or by ourselves and coaching by others can speed up career and professional growth. This is for sure. This is there is nothing to doubt about this. What are the benefits of coaching? Let's see. Some of the benefits we have noted. The direction I'm taking may be correct, but it requires little course correction, little to the right, little to the left. Possibly you shouldn't be doing this. Possibly you should be doing this more. This tweaking is very important. That will lead to faster goal achievements for us. If it is a job or it's a job for the client, satisfaction will increase because the coach is an experienced person who knows what works, what doesn't work. And he can look at where we can focus on to get the best results. As I get coached, I also become more and more self-reliant. My need for coaching also will reduce. Also, coaching also brings accountability into our life. After we keep telling the coach where we are, how we improved, what all we did, what are the reasons for improvement. Slowly, you yourself become accountable to yourself, and your dependence on the coach also will reduce. Coaching also helps in team contribution. It's not only individuals, like Paddy coached the Indian Olympic team, hockey team, to get a bronze in the last Olympics. So a coach can tell you how you can be more effective. Say in shuttle or badminton, doubles, you have to have perfect coordination with your partner. Otherwise, even if you are world number one and world number two, you lose to somebody who is down the line. Coaching also allows us to learn from the coach how to communicate, how they get across their ideas to us. That's the way we can get across ideas to others. Coaching is not only for the professional pursuits. While I get coached, my non-professional pursuits, maybe my hobbies, my relationships at home, my effectiveness with my friends, they will all improve because the characteristics and habits are getting improved. My thoughts are getting improved. The important directions of coaching could be, especially when we are looking at organizations, like we had Hiregange and Associates, now it's called HNA. Coaching helped us to have inclusive leadership. I myself used to coach. We also hired outside coaches. Effective communication, very, very important. Aspects of faith. If when I have faith, things happen faster. It is like, medicine. You go to a doctor you trust. He just has to tell you you'll get well in 2 days. Don't worry, you'll get well in 2 days. And in 2 days, you are better. Your faith in the doctor is fantastic, and that is playing a role. The amount of trust which goes into that also is important. For example, there is a saying which says trust begets trust. If I trust you, you will trust me. If I don't trust you, you will not trust me. Very, very important. And in the coach and coachee relationship, this is also very important. Lately, we have also understood that emotional intelligence, my feelings, are as important as knowledge, skill, etc. What is it that I think? What is it that I narrate? What is it that I speak? All this makes a difference in my life. So I need to ensure that the strong suits of mine, the ones where I have been successful, I need to grow them. And wherever I have some emotions which are, you can say, bit negative, or they are not very inspiring, maybe there are those emotions I need to improve on. For example, it could be, for what I had mentioned earlier, it could be stubbornness. No, I think I said arrogance versus humility. So build humility so that arrogance gets whittled down. In coaching, one very important aspect we will realize is the coach listens to you. They are able to make out what you have said. They are also able to make out what you have not said. The ability to give feedback is something we all learn from coaches. How to give feedback, not just being nice and, oh, everything is fine, good, you are fantastic, you look beautiful. Coach will tell you exactly how you have to give feedback and give honest feedback. One of the great attributes of good coaches is empathy. And not only empathy for you, empathy for all the people in your life who make a difference to you. So empathy is a quality which I think all professionals should own, should improve. Because empathy for our parents, empathy for our relatives, empathy for our friends, empathy for our seniors, very important. Many of us don't have empathy for seniors, empathy for our juniors. Sometimes we don't have that too. Empathy for the client. We think client is unreasonable. When I have empathy for all stakeholders, the environment also becomes empathetic to us, and what we need, what we want, just flows to us. Try it out and you will see this is true. Inclusive leadership, what does it mean? Inclusive leadership is there are so many things which are required for, say, a professional firm to improve. First thing inclusive leadership does is it fosters a sense of being one, belonging to the, say, Hiregange family or H&A family, and automatically boosts productivity. How do we do it? We try to see that our vision, our purpose, our mission, our values are all slowly getting to be common. That is, say we have a vision that we have to give quality work, deliver high quality work. Now, this cannot give only the vision of the person who started the organization. It should be vision of all the partners, all the managers, all the staff. Now, whether all is happening or most is happening, alignment effort should be there always to see that common purpose is there, common understanding is there, because this is good for everybody. For example, being productive is good for every professional, but being productive with high quality work being delivered may require a little extra effort. But if everybody in the organization is having that common goal, then we can say that leadership, inclusive leadership is really working. It would also end up with not many people leaving us. And that is a big problem today because people do keep shifting offices, unlike in the past. Effective communication is something which is 100% possible when coaching takes place because without listening, neither the coach can advise nor the coachee can implement the advice. Also, how to give clear communication guides everybody towards all the goals of the organization. Clear communication means what? What we are intending to say, that is reaching the person. So how is coaching you know, relevant here? The coach is an excellent communicator. And by observing, seeing how he is instructing us, we can understand how we should instruct our employees, our peers, and how to communicate with our seniors also. Faith and trust. Trust forms the foundation of coaching. If I don't trust my coach, then there's no question of, uh, you know, having a successful coaching assignment. The coach has to ensure that he gives honest, constructive feedback. He may not tell us open and brutal feedback, which will demoralize me, but he can give constructive feedback, which will build trust and foster my growth. Faith is something, like how in India we are a country which has very high faith in God, gods and goddesses. And we believe that if we go and take the blessings, many good things happen. And it does when I have full faith. Normally, the followers of faith, as far as God is concerned, will be blind faith. But why not have faith that the coach is going to get the results he says he will get or she says she will get? That would help to enhance the result for sure. We have talked about emotional intelligence. What is emotional intelligence? is something which we have explained in one particular video of ours of overcoming limitations. You could possibly have a look if you want to see that. There's an Excel sheet which talks about empowering emotions and disempowering emotions. We have to understand the emotional intelligence of the employee who we want to coach. And once we get their strong points, once we get their weak points, we can possibly look at improving them one by one. Remember, many of the things which we emotional intelligence may have nothing to do with the office. It might have happened. It might be some memories I carry from the past, baggage, bad times, traumatic times. I might have had challenges in my life, family life, personal challenges. Like I had when I was failing in my CA exam, I was just thinking, what is this? I am studying so much, still failing. There I started getting life doubt whether whatever I have thought of is something which will never happen. These type of doubts came. Of course, at that time I did not have a coach, and I possibly wasted a few years of my life because I did not have a coach. I could have got through my CA much earlier if I had had a coach. I didn't realize that till I was 40. After that, I started looking at coaches, not one, many, for each thought process which I had, maybe for philanthropy, somebody, for my profession, somebody, like that. Listening is something which is very important. Active listening means without deciding anything, being fully open. If I am going to listen, I can solve the problem. So the coach has to actively listen to what the coachee is saying. He's saying, I have this problem, I have that problem. And the coach will identify this is your challenge. Or he will ask, "Okay, is this your challenge?" He will identify it that way. He will ask the right questions. He will probe various things, including your relationship, your past, what you have done. For example, when we do mentoring of people, we ask them to list out all the achievements in their life. This particular exercise also makes them feel very nice about themselves, gives them an understanding that they have been supported by so many people. Also, we ask them to make a list of all the joyous times in their life at various points of time, maybe before 5, up to 10, up to 20, up to 25, or whatever the age groups you want to fit them into. And when they do this exercise also, they feel so nice about themselves. And this exercise, the list which is prepared, is something which people can look up anytime in their life. So that is the right question to ask, which puts that environment where the coachee finds himself or herself looking forward for coaching more. This I think we have already covered. The coach should give proper feedback. Feedback which will lead to growth. It should not make the coachee feel bad about himself or not want to have any more coaching. That is very, very important, because feedback, correct feedback, honest feedback without hurting is very important. Here is where good coaches can become great coaches if they are able to give feedback which can make long-term behavioral change. I've talked about empathy quite a lot, and I think whatever I said about parents, neighbors, friends, juniors, peers, seniors, everywhere I can have empathy. We have also one wonderful video on empathy on this same site. And if you want to improve your empathy, you can go through that video. But empathy, without empathy, a coach cannot function. He has to have empathy, not only for you, also for all the stakeholders in your life. So how can one coach? There are many ways. This is only one thought process which I have collated. First, I have to understand the person being coached. What are their background? What are their strengths? What do their parents do? What do they want to do? All this. Then maybe support them in setting smart goals. What is smart goal? Specific, measurable, attainable, relevant, and timely. Set such smart goals. It may take couple of weeks, couple of days to set these goals for a person. Support them in setting the goal. Identify aspirations and create an action plan. Remember, setting goal is one part. It is only the first part. Whatever actions have to be taken to make the goals real is action. That action has to be reviewed. Regularly, we have to review the progress. So who is going to review? The coach is going to review. They are going to make this along with you. They will review your progress. They will keep offering solutions. Wherever you have concerns, they'll have methods of overcoming it. They will keep giving constructive feedback to you. Now, the coach also has to get feedback not only from you, about you, from other stakeholders. For example, if I'm working in an organization, I'm the manager in the organization, he may like to get a feedback from my partner. He may like to get feedback from the people who work under me. That will give him a insight into actually what is happening. He can give me much better advice. So he should include the feedback from stakeholders in my life in his coaching plan. He has to follow up regularly and ensure that continued growth is there. Off and on, I may get stuck. Then he has to be compassionate enough and take me through that and help me to continue to grow. Claire B, what does he say about coaching? Good coaching. He says it may be defined as the development of character, very important. What habits I put into my life, what values I put into my life, personality and habits of a player, plus teaching of fundamentals. What is fundamentals? Values. And of course, nothing can be done without a team. Many of the successes in my life, or I should say most of the successes in my life, has not been due to me. It has been because wonderful partners, wonderful co-opted members in my indirect tax committee, and wonderful family members for family successes. So coaching is important. It drives success, makes individuals grow, organizations grow to their potential. Remember, potential is very big. Start leveraging coaching today. Don't ignore coaching because you may get impacted. There's a story, not story, the real life of the Harvard Business School versus, I think, one of the other business schools, I'm not remembering. And Harvard Business School did not go for a coach for their, uh, football team, soccer team. And the other, whoever was their rival, they went for a coach. And in the next 10 years, 9 or 8 of them were won by that team with the coach. And Harvard had won only 2. And in the last 5 years, Harvard had not won at all. So what did Harvard do? They also got a coach after 10 years. And then it became a seesaw battle between them and the other team. This is very, very important to understand. If you have not got coached till today, start getting coached. How to get coached? Use Google, your friends. If you are having an organization, check up. You can suggest to the organization to get some good coaches. There's a small article also. There's a small book also, which you can download from Tax Sutra if you are interested. This is a book which is in progress. It is not a complete book, but please, you can see it. Thank you and all the best.